This video provides an introduction to reading peer-reviewed journal articles, as well as some helpful tips for navigating our database, including saving and citing the articles. Let's say we've done a search for the cost of higher education in the United States, and we've pulled up this article. On the record page, it gives me a lot of information about the article before I go on to read the full text. Let's talk about what some of these things mean. First, the title is at the top, followed by the authors. The authors also have listed their educational affiliation and email address, should you want to get in touch with them. The source is the journal that this article is published in, Research in Higher Education, and the date. It's always a good idea to make sure your articles are up to date, and this is from August 2019. Subject terms are the topics covered by this article, and you might notice that they're links. So if you click on any one of these, for example, first-generation college students, it will give you a list of additional articles on the same subject. Finally, the abstract. This is a summary of the article. It will let you know what their research question was, how they went about their study, and what they found as a result. Reading the abstract first will let you know if the article is something that looks relevant and useful to your research. And if it does, you can then move on to open the PDF full text. Reading a peer-reviewed journal article for the first time can be overwhelming, but I'll talk about what each of the sections mean and which ones are most important to pay attention to. As you can see, it begins with the abstract, which we've already looked at. This is the summary of the article. The introduction will tell you why they decided to carry out this research. And as you can see, there are several citations to previous articles. The background, also sometimes called literature review, is full of citations as well. These are all the studies that these authors read in order to complete the current study. A good research tip is, if you're having trouble finding articles, you might look at the references used in one really good article. They're obviously related and led the authors to want to conduct this current study, so it may be worth looking at what some of the previous research was. They're listed as parenthetical citations here, but as we'll see later, all of these will be listed as complete references in the reference list at the end of the paper. Next, we're at the data and methods section. This will describe how they carried out the research and where they got their data. There are a lot of tables. The results section will also be filled with charts, graphs, and a lot of statistical analysis. The good thing is you don't have to read this too closely or really understand any of the tables at all. The important part follows the results section, and that's called the discussion section. This will summarize the results in plain language and tell you exactly what they found and why it's important. This is really the most important section of a peer-reviewed article, and you'll likely be able to find good supporting evidence and quotes for your paper in the discussion section. Finally, a list of references follows. All of the citations that I mentioned earlier that were included in the background section can be found here. Some of them are links that will lead you to the resources on the web, and some of them are articles. The database comes with several built-in tools. First, this is an email tool, which will allow you to email a copy of the article to yourself as a PDF attachment. Just type your email address here and it will be sent to you. Next, there's the Permalink. It looks like a little link icon, and this is an important tool because it generates a link that will always lead back to this article. So if you need a link to an article, this is the one you want to copy and paste to send someone or to send to yourself, not the link that's in the URL bar at the top of your browser. Again, that's called Permalink, and it's found right here. You can download articles to your computer or flash drive. You can print the article using this icon. And one last really helpful tool is the citation tool. It looks like a little yellow piece of paper, and if I click on it, it generates citations in all different formats. So I would scroll to find MLA, and this is the entry for my works cited page. I can copy and paste this into a Word document, and I'm well on my way to creating an MLA works cited page. Remember, the library is here to answer any questions you have as you complete your research. Thanks for watching.